Ah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors. Jonathan Perriente, the Beast of the East, here with you, Mouth of the South, John Schiavone. This is Downtown Sports. This is where sports come home.
The Knicks still didn't get Anthony Edwards yet, did they?
No, no,
They haven't listened to what I told them
no.
to do in the last rant, right?
I saw your rant. LeBron went to Philly. I mean, what more can you say? They added Contavious Caldwell Pope as well, another piece for the bench.
They're
Sixers have a
looking to
dangerous team,
trade for
guys.
Bron. They're looking for and they're going to complete it. They're
They're going to
looking to
complete it.
trade for Bronny.
It's
They're looking to trade for Bronny. It's
mm,
over. Title
okay.
Town,
It will not be.
Philadelphia. Bronny
I'll make sure I
James. Here
watch.
we go.
Yeah, I'll make sure I watch Riot comedy videos when I know that goes down. Anyway,
Ha ha ha.
but we are. But basketball is where we're.
I can warm the bench even better, Coach. Please don't send me to the D League.
Shut up, Bronny. All right, we're gonna dive into the real meat of things here.
Yes.
Football season, the NFL. I can't believe I'm saying this. We're not even in. We're almost at the end of July, but football is coming, guys. Training
Oh yeah,
camp's
it
already
is.
begun.
Yup.
We've already got a lot of news that has already emerged out of training camp already, and we're not even at the start of preseason football yet, which is
Oh
coming up
God.
later this
So
week, by the way.
I mean, I've been keeping up. I've been doing some best ball drafts over with the Professional Fanatics. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
professionalfanatics.com. You want to know anything about fantasy football? They're the guys.
Mm.
You know.
Yes. So
So,
already we've had some good progress has been made. There's definitely been some progress. Some players that were out, have been injured, have already put on good showings. One of which is Daniel Jones. He's been training.
yep.
He's back. No more restrictions on him. He was a full participant in practice. And that's a
Full
very good
participant,
sign.
as in he could get hit.
If he's full participant, that means yeah, he's playing at the level that we want Daniel Jones to play, right? You want the good
Well,
Daniel Jones, right? The
no,
one
we
who's
want Daniel. Is he playing at the level we want him to play? We don't know yet.
look,
We had half a season.
yeah,
We had
and he
half a
was
season
playing
of
and
it.
he was playing some of the best football I'd ever seen Daniel Jones play. So it tells you
Yeah.
the system that he worked in played to his strength and
Yep.
unlocked him.
And it
Okay.
also shows me that anybody that the New York Giants brought in to coach him was just pathetic and
Yeah,
terrible. This is why Brian Daboll doesn't deserve a
yeah,
job anywhere.
Brian Dable's in Tennessee now, so
And he's going to go ruin another quarterback. Poor Cam Ward.
I don't know that he's ruining anyone yet. I think we're getting a little too ahead of ourselves on that note. But okay. But look, Daniel Jones has looked pretty good. I like that. He's looked solid. I'm very happy for that. Tank Dell has been making some positive strides. He had missed over what 2 years. I mean, the everyone saw the gruesome injuries that Tank Dell suffered. It wasn't just an ACL. It was beyond just that. He had. If I can go back in time here and we can just go over the injury for those that are unfamiliar. Okay, so yeah, he tore his ACL, he tore his LCL and his MCL. He dislocated his knee and damage to his meniscus. All
So
right,
basically,
that was 2 years
his
ago.
leg was hanging by his skin.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah,
To see, but to see,
by
yeah,
his skin. That
yes,
leg was
yes,
only held together. The only thing that would have made the compound fracture motherfucking worse
mm,
was if the bone went through the leg like Dak Prescott or like
yeah.
Alex Smith.
Well, what happened to Alex Smith was as gruesome can be. I mean, there's not even denial about that. What happened to what happened there? But Tank Dell has
But
persevered.
other than that, it's tanked out. That is probably the worst leg injury we've seen to a wideout in years.
But so far, from what we have gathered, and Mouth, you talked to me about this as well a little bit before we came on the air. He is slowly kind of easing back into things, but he did arrive at camp. So he is getting ready. He's been practicing. He was available for camp, so that's a very so no longer he's no longer on the PUP list anymore.
That's
Full
right.
go. He was declared a full go ahead of training camp. And that's a big deal for this guy to come all the way back from pretty much four gruesome injuries to his knee on basically on one play.
Yup.
It speaks a lot.
And so far, they love what they're seeing.
Well,
And if that's the case, him and Jaden Higgins might end up competing for that number two wide receiver role.
mm, you
Because
still
Jaden
have Nico.
Higgins certainly didn't show me,
You still got Nico Collins as well. So
but Jaden
CJ,
Higgins surely didn't show me that he is capable of handling the number two receiver role in this offense.
well, which I
Tank
find
Dell's a slot
interesting.
merchant.
Which I find interesting because he had to get thrust into that role because of the injury to Tank Dell, and it looked like he was starting to take on that role well. But you're only
Well,
limited. He only is limited to what he can
Jaden
do.
Noel,
Yeah, Jalen
Jaden
Noel
Noel
looked good.
literally just went crazy. And
Mm.
in fact, I think he had a better year than Jaden Higgins, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
No.
Jalen Noel. Let's take a look at the numbers, but definitely, I like to think though. Let's look at the last. Right now, speaking of Jalen Noel, he's on the non-football injury list, but he's expected
Uh
back
oh.
soon. But he's expected back soon. So it's not an injury related thing. It's something completely different. So I
Okay.
wouldn't I wouldn't lose sleep in it. All right. But as of last year, Jalen Noel only had 292 total receiving yards, and he had two touchdowns. All right. That's what Jalen Noel gave you last year. Again, Texans were Texans were hit were kind of were
Hit with
hindered.
the injury bug.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, he got hurt. They were Texans were hit with a lot of injuries last year. They were hit
He
with a
was
ton of
looking
them.
really good
Yeah,
because it wasn't Higgins that was breaking out in this offense. It was Noel.
yeah. Higgins put up a solid year. 41 catches for 525 yards, and he had six touchdowns. Okay, it's not bad. I mean, that's a solid considering how few targets he got and how many catches he had, and to
To
still
be
put up that
honest,
six touchdowns is pretty good. It's
to be
pretty
honest
solid.
though, to be honest though, for how highly he was drafted and how
Those
he
numbers
was
are kind of
expected to
disappointing.
play,
Those numbers are kind of disappointing.
they need Tank Dell back in the worst way,
All right.
and they need him back to being
Well,
Tank Dell. They don't need him
well,
back to being
well. They're easing him back slowly, and that's the most important thing. Do not rush this. Do not do something you're going to regret. Because I can already assure you, for all the good successes we've already had, also Fernando Mendoza, right now he's going to be backing up. So the first team is going to go to Kirk Cousins,
perfect
which doesn't surprise me.
as
Um,
it should.
Mendoza has looked really good. Command of the pocket seems to be very much in gel with the second team. So that's a good sign. And his accurate passing, it's a very good sign. I think what we're
Wonderful.
seeing out of Mendoza this
Good.
early.
Let him sit. I don't care. Here's the deal. If
Yes.
Cousins is starting Jalen Naylor, all of a sudden
Mm.
look out for him
Yeah.
because he's going to imitate the Justin Jefferson role. And that's the guy that goes all over the formation. If you remember, the reason Naylor could never get on the field is because
Mm.
he was JJ's direct backup.
Well,
It's not because he sucked.
no, he had to play. He was playing second fiddle. Okay. Now he's going to get the opportunity to really take on more of a main role on this
Yeah,
offense.
because he's not the X receiver. That's Trey Tucker's job.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's going to go out there, go
Yeah.
fast, get contested catches, try to burn out
Hmm.
the defense. That's not
Yeah.
Jalen Naylor's game.
Yeah.
Jalen Naylor is I'm a zone beater. I'm going to go all over the formation, find the gaps in your coverage, and figure out where I'm supposed to be in the zone.
Yep.
Zone crossers, things like that. That's Jalen
Yep.
Naylor's bag, the
You're
same
going
kind of bag that Justin Jefferson has, except
you're going
that,
to get back.
of course, at a very much
Yeah.
decelerated pace from JJ because Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson is still the best wide receiver in
Yeah.
football. I don't care what anybody
You're
has to say.
you're going to get back a healthy Brock Bowers at tight end, which is very important if you're the Raiders. That's huge for you.
And
Uh,
a healthy Michael Mayer
yeah.
because if Brock Bowers did not exist, Michael Mayer would be considered a top five, top 10 tight end in the NFL today.
Yeah. Ashton
Remember
Genty.
that Michael Mayer is the guy who in college kept Sam Laporta on the bench.
Yeah. You're going to get the next year now out of Ashton Genty. So can he really kind of pick up things from last year? He showed some things last year in his first year. Okay, I will give
He has
Gentry that.
he'll have a quarterback. I'm not going to say that Gino wasn't capable, but the coaching situation was terrible. The O
Mm,
line was bad.
yeah.
There was no one else.
Yep.
You know, at least Cousins knows how to check down.
Yeah.
Gino,
Yep.
like I love Geno Smith. He can check down too, but he needs a functional offensive line for him to be able to understand what a check down read looks
Yep.
like. Otherwise, Gino is I'm either going to run the football with my legs or I'm going to
Yep.
boom it down the field with my gigantic
Yep.
arm. That's Geno
Yep.
Smith.
You
Kirk
have also.
Cousins is a precision doctor with the
Yep.
quarterback, but he needs to have. But the thing with Kirk, and here's the thing with the Raiders,
Hmm.
Mendoza's going to have to play this year at some point.
Yeah. I think he will get his
You need
shot. He's going to get his
you
shot.
need to hand him a season that's worth having.
Okay. I still think it's good to
So
let him sit for a bit, let him watch Kirk Cousins, watch a veteran, and this is what develops good quarterbacks, in my opinion, is if you let them sit and learn the offense from the bench. Now, when your time
agreed,
comes, his time will be here. His time will come.
but
There's no
beat
doubt.
and then beat Cousins,
Okay. Well,
and
since
then
he's
beat
already
Cousins out for the
look,
job, like just literally beat him out
I'm
because he's
happy
not doing
Mendoza.
that so
I'm
far.
happy Mendoza is taking the role that he is, and he's willing to learn, and that's the most important thing. And he's excelling already. That's a good sign. Jack
Yeah,
Besh is another piece you're going to have on the offense. I'm going to be curious how he gets utilized. He didn't really have much of a first year.
he's gonna be the main guy that's competing with Trey Tucker for snaps and targets and catches, because he is a natural. Jack Bash is a natural X receiver. That's what
Yeah.
the Raiders drafted him to be.
Well.
Unfortunately for Besh, Trey Tucker just happened to have a
Yeah.
career season
Well,
last year.
I think you're still gonna see Trey Tucker do things in the offense. I think no doubt, but he is
I'm
going
not saying
to be. But he's also going to be used as a return specialist. They do use him in that regard too. So Tucker will be used in that regard as well.
I don't see Jack Besh beating out Trey Tucker to start
Probably
the
not.
year.
Probably not.
And here's the thing: once Mendoza hits the field, Trey Tucker is going to become a big valuable piece to this offense because the one thing Mendoza has that Kirk Cousins does not is a gigantic arm.
Well, we're all going to see. And then, of course, also Malik Benson, the rookie you drafted this year. We'll see what he brings to the table. So the Raiders have some good pieces here offensively. They,
Malik Benson is definitely a good, sneaky good wide receiver pick. I actually could see Malik Benson moving up the ranks faster than Jack Besh. There's my hot
mm,
take of the damn
all right,
summer.
I could
I think
realistically see
Malik
that.
Benson could overtake Jack Besh and maybe get involved in this Raider offense. He
Yep.
definitely has the juice to
Mm,
do so. He's
yep.
got the speed,
Yeah.
especially when Mendoza takes over.
Mm,
That's the kind of receiver Mendoza needs. Somebody who could just boom down the field at a million miles an hour. Imagine him and Trey Tucker
yep.
just
Yep.
on either side of the field.
Yeah. So then, on top of that,
How do you
Pat,
cover that?
yeah, going around the league a little bit more, staying in the AFC West, ironically enough, Patrick Mahomes has looked very solid since he's come back from his injury, and he's definitely
Week
coming
one,
back with a
they
vengeance.
anticipate him starting as well, but Justin Fields is still there. They have the ability to ease him in because I don't think the Chiefs' schedule starts off all that crazy.
No, it will not be. It won't be a hectic schedule if we take a look at the schedule for
Let's take a
Kansas
look. What do
City
we got?
as we get
I'm
into the
not
early
sure. I don't
going.
think there's yeah,
Now
because
the
remember
schedules have been released, but all right, the preseason. I mean, we don't really care about that, but it's three preseason games. The Rams will be their first preseason opponent, so that's a good start for them. But yeah, regular season. Here we go. Here we go. Bo Nix and the Broncos to kick week one off. That's on September
Yeah,
14th.
I would just sacrifice Justin Fields to the Broncos and then start my season next week.
You're just going to feed him to the Wolves? I
Yeah,
don't think the Chiefs are just going to. No, the Chiefs are not a football team that's going to throw football games like that. They're not
yeah,
going to do
no,
that.
no, they're not throwing the football game. They're just throwing Justin Fields out there as a meat shield
No. I could see them using
for poor
Fields in.
Patrick Mahomes to not die in his first game back.
I think you will see Fields used in some maybe packages. I could see him in a Wildcat maybe used somewhere. Maybe he can be like a used for like an end around type play. I could see Justin Fields being utilized to a better potential under Andy Reid. I do see that.
Like
I
a
do.
Taysom Hill, but better.
Yeah. Well, he has better speed than Hill. He has
And a
good
better
legs.
arm. He can
Yeah,
actually function as yeah, because we've seen Justin Fields function as a quarterback. It's not like
yeah.
Justin Fields is so inept at playing
No.
quarterback that you can't win with him.
You
It's
just have to
just
give him time. Give him the time and patience in the pocket, and he can get those throws off. He's capable of it.
yeah, he's never been around an O line that could actually protect him. And no, the Pittsburgh O line that they have with Russ and Fields starting was not good.
Mm.
So I don't want to hear that.
Yep. All right. And then we have now let's go around to our local teams a bit, and we're going to dive into the rest of the positive notes before we get into some of the negative sides of the story. Let's go to the Giants. And what have we got as far as updates on Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbo?
Apparently he's looking closer to coming back week 1 than he would be coming back week
This is Neighbors.
7.
Is this Neighbors? This is for Neighbors,
Yes,
correct? Okay.
yes.
And Scatterbo, all right. Scatterbo had that little moment where he did a backflip, and very lucky he didn't get hurt. And
Thank God Tyrone Tracy's a Giant because the all-time leader upon being drafted as a New York Giant as a running back in yards
yep,
over his first 2 seasons as a
yep,
Giants RB, that's Tyrone
yep,
Tracy.
yep.
And yet everybody just seems to think he's backing up Cam Scatterbo. On what planet?
No, no. Scatterbo's the guy. And so far, look,
Yeah,
Scatterbo's been looking good.
y'all keep thinking that. Y'all
He's
can
been
keep
deemed
thinking.
good to go for camp. So Scatterbo's in
Okay,
drills. He's doing what he has to do. So
good.
Jackson
I'm
Dart,
glad.
all right, Jackson Dart, very positive about this. Hey, Neighbors is a presence. It makes him happy to see him here. Okay, I hope this motivates
Yes,
Jackson Dart. I really hope it will. I hope Jackson Dart is going to have a breakout year. I really think he could.
me too.
If his
I think
pieces
he
are
can
healthy, he
too.
will.
But Matt Nagy's his offensive
Okay,
coordinator.
and you got John
He
Harbaugh running the
sucks.
show. You got John Harbaugh.
Matt Nagy sucks.
Well, maybe
John
Jackson.
Harbaugh decided to run Derrick Henry only 50% of the time.
Okay, well, maybe Jackson Dart will have a
This
little
doesn't
say.
necessarily give me much hope.
Okay, if Aaron Rodgers had a say over whatever Hackett did and loved him, maybe Jackson Dart will say, Nagy, you're running that football with Cam. You're not going to rely only on my arm. We are running that football too if the moment calls for it. We are running the ball. This is going to test Jackson Dart's mettle. It's going to show to me that this guy is ready to lead his team.
If these two could
He was
ever take
proven
a
that he
break
could.
for, if those two could ever take a break from eating crayons long enough to actually talk to their offensive
Oh my
coordinator.
God. Okay. I expect Jackson Dart will have more control of the offense. I think you're going to see Jackson Dart really, I think, take on more of that leadership role even more in this year than he did in last year. Look,
Oh no, I agree. I completely agree with you. I think Dart is going to be fine. I think they will play better. I just don't think it's going to net better results.
yeah,
Unfortunately, everybody else got better around them and they suck.
of course. All right. Washington. All right, we'll see how it goes with
It's
them. They
not
did
like it's not like your team who everybody thinks is going to be like a 3-win
well.
team.
All right, look.
Go bet the over in Vegas. They got the Jets at 5
Well,
wins.
I
Go
know
bet that freaking over.
Gino did have his moment off the field with his ex-girlfriend. He it got dropped, that whole situation with Gino
Of course it
drop
did.
charges, nothing came out of it.
Because a lot of people know about the situation with the person that Gino was dating, that was a whole big
Okay.
it's not like the Josh Jacobs situation, which we'll get to in a few
No.
minutes.
But Gino didn't want this to hamper the team. Okay? And he regrets it. He rues it. Okay? He talked to Aaron Glenn. He talked to Muji. All right.
This is his second imagine you get drafted to a team in the NFL. That team happens to be
The
the
Jets.
representative team of the biggest city in this country,
Yeah.
and you just F it all up.
Okay.
You F it all the way up to the point where in your last game in a Jet uniform, your coach didn't trust you to throw more than 4 times. He ran the
And,
ball with you 23 times.
and then there was that whole punching situation he got into with another Jet. I know I didn't forget that
Yep.
with Gino. I
Oh,
know.
yeah. No, 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 no. So please. And now you get a chance at the end of your career when everybody's written you off
Okay.
to go back to me, and everybody thinks, oh, you're just going to be a bridge quarterback. You're going to
No.
go. to New York and prove everyone wrong.
I think we'll see a solid
And
year out of
guess what?
Gino. A solid year.
He no, Gino has so much more to play for than people think.
Yeah. I think you're going
He
to see,
really
and I
does.
think you're going to see that Gino with a chip on his shoulder. That's the Geno Smith we're going to see this year. I have that much confidence. I think we're going to see that. And you know what? The Jets got some veteran pieces on this team, which I think is going to be very important. Demario Davis is going to anchor that defense. Jets didn't have a
Yep.
leader on that since Mosley. They needed a guy that could captain that defense.
Yeah,
Demario
they needed a
Davis is perfect for that.
That's exactly what he is. He's a guy who can take the young people on the defense, translate whatever the coach is saying, and translate it to the defense. How Giant fans, Antonio Pierce, remember
Yes.
him?
Yes.
That's the job that Demario Davis is going to do for you.
Right.
He's going to make sure and call the audibles and make sure everybody is in their proper place.
Correct.
Because I don't think the Jets defense was terrible from lack of effort. They were
No.
terrible because their coach does not know how. Because while their coach is a brilliant defensive mind, their coach is also an idiot when it comes to
Well,
talking
that and also
and communicating.
that and undisciplined penalties also uh, spelt problems. That also
Yeah, because
led to
because they're
problems.
caught out of because they were caught out of position so many freaking times.
Well,
That's the problem.
all right.
How else do you get into penalties?
Mm,
Because you're generally trying to scramble your way back into position and you have to cheat a
hmm
little to get
Yeah.
there. And that's what happens when
Right.
you're getting caught out of position every single time when you have a defense with no veteran leadership whatsoever. Everybody's
Yeah.
like saying, "Oh, Demario Davis is 37 years old. What the hell purpose does he serve on the defense?" Here's the purpose: to tell everybody else on the defense whose average age I think is 23 and a half,
It's a
24
young.
years
It's a
old,
young the Jets definitely have a young defense. There's no doubt about it.
where to go, where to be, how to get there, when they're supposed to get there. When they see the quarterback do this, they have to run to this spot in the zone.
The Jets
They have to
roster
go
this year,
here.
the Jets roster, 25.8 years old average. So they're one of the younger groups in the NFL. Okay. But as I said, not only do you have Demario Davis here, you got Minka Fitzpatrick too. Don't forget him.
Yep.
That's going to,
To
so you have
anchor,
two good anchors on that defense. You're going to get,
to tell everyone what the hell to do. Somebody in the front set, somebody to make sure that the front is good, and somebody to make sure the secondary is set.
correct. All right.
Perfect.
And then keep it going. The offense. Okay. Another year you're going to get out of Brees, another year out of Garrett Wilson, another year of experience for each of them. You got Omar Cooper Jr. Okay, very talented
He's
kid.
not
I
the
think
one
he
that everybody needs to worry about. I don't think
Sadiq.
Armand
Then you
Cooper
have
Jr.
Sadiq.
is.
The
He's
tight
not the
end.
one everybody needs to be watching.
Then who
I'm
do we?
telling you, Adonai Mitchell is going to be that guy this year. He is going
Okay,
to catch 70 balls.
okay. I really hope he will. I mean, the
70
potential's
balls,
always been there for
1,000
him.
yards. Because he's finally going to be given the opportunity to actually play with a big armed
And you
quarterback.
know
When
what?
has he had that?
Garrett Wilson actually agrees with you on that. He says it the same. Adonai Mitchell's bound for a breakout. Okay, so you're hearing that from Garrett Wilson as well. All right. So you're
You're
gonna
also
have,
hearing that from Frank Reich. You're hearing that
yeah.
from Geno Smith. You're hearing
Okay.
that from anybody that could
That's
talk around the
That's
Jets
very positive.
organization.
That's very positive news. Okay. I'm going to be very fascinated to see how the Jets are going to utilize all these
I
guys on their team.
I
And
love how you're not. I'm trying to get you excited about your team.
I'm very excited.
Why?
I think the Jets have
No, you're
potential
not.
here. Why?
Bullshit.
Well, you know what? How many years have you been?
I'll be very excited to see how the Jets will do going forward. Because I want to move on to the next thing. Because if
Okay,
I talk too much about
you know how many
how
times you
good
bring up the
stuff
Mets and
is,
you always like,
you
you
know,
know how many times you bring up the Mets?
then
Oh, I like what the Mets have. They got good stuff. The Mets are going to be fine. They're going to win. And then they don't win. And
I
then look what
don't do
happens.
that. I
I don't know.
actually pretty much say constantly how the Mets screw up and they've done nothing but I actually believed in the offseason signings this year. I will 10,000% admit that.
Okay. And then look
The
what
only
happened.
thing,
And look what happened.
the only two things that I completely was wondering about is why in the name of God
Mm,
were they putting Polanco and Bichette out of position? But, that's who we were left with because, um,
mm,
I've never heard of trading future stocks in baseball
hmm.
on salary.
Well, well, I
But
don't
the
even want
Dodgers
to.
have managed to do it. So
Well, I don't know if I want to even ask on that, but anyway, look, I think the Jets, I hope that this offense can actually surprise some people this year and in a
By the
positive
way,
way.
17 games.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Yep.
You want to know
17.
what that? Why do I say 17 games? Why does that matter, John?
Mm. Well,
Why
I
does it
mean,
matter?
because it's a long season,
Yep, yep.
you have to,
It
don't be
is.
too
It's a
excited
very
over
long
one week.
season.
Don't be
You're
excited over
right.
1 or 2 weeks. You want this
Absolutely.
team to really,
Yeah.
you want this team to
But
blossom. I get it.
I'm
100%.
really trying to get you to go somewhere, and you're not going there with me, Beast. I'll take you there,
Well,
though.
I need to
What's
see it from the
important
first
about the
few.
number 17 specifically for this New York Jets team?
Well, Garrett Wilson has to lead, has to be an example.
17 is
Oh, sorry.
the amount of games that the offensive line played together last year.
Mm. So they stayed, so the line was healthy for the most part.
And they stayed together. So
Okay.
that means, based on just experience playing together alone, they should be a top 15 O line.
Mm. Yep. Well, we're going to
Just
find out.
baseline, they should be middle of the pack because they've been together.
All right. I'm going to be very fascinated. I'm going to I still want to take things slowly with a little grain of salt. And here's who the Jets have to kick off the year. Well, we already know that this was coming. They're facing their old coach. They're facing Saleh and Dable week 1, Tennessee.
Yeah, they're going to stomp the hell out of them.
Well, I would certainly like to hope, yes, they do. It's going to be in Tennessee, though, so it's going to be on
I
the
think they're
road.
gonna. I think they're gonna blow the hell. I think they're gonna blow the doors off the Titans, and people
Well,
just don't understand.
well, they need to because the schedule's a tough one to start things off. It's a pretty tough start to the season for them, and they need to get all the wins they could get in the early going. All right, we'll see how this pans out. I hope this all works
Bang
out
that
in a
week
good way.
one, bang that
All
week
right,
one out, and let the league know
so
that you're not just gonna be pushed around. That if you play the New York
mhm.
Jets, you're gonna be in for something a lot different than you've been in for the past few seasons. I'm not saying the Jets are gonna win more than 7 games.
No.
However, the Vegas line is 5.
Mm. Well, for all the good positive news we've gotten, some positive outlooks on players, and good to see that they're all making a good, solid return to the team and they look good going into camp. Then we have some of the bad. We have some injuries that take place, and that's unfortunately a common thing. In Atlanta got pretty snake bit in a pretty rough way of their own. Tua injured,
Oh lordy. Oh, what
and it's
happened?
well,
What did he do?
he had a flare up. He had some kind of an injury flare up, and he didn't practice after it.
Oh no.
I don't. It's not in very key specific what kind of a flare up we're talking about here. It's an undisclosed injury, according to Kevin Stefanski, and the Falcons did add Cooper Rush to strengthen their quarterback position because obviously not only is Tua out, Michael Penix is still out. So you have no
Oh
Penix,
great.
you have no Tua. You remember you dealt Cousins, so
I
you're
think we're figuring out why Atlanta hired Stefanski.
and
It's like, hi,
they already had re-
we need a coach that knows how to work with literally
yeah
trash off the street.
they already let go of Trevor Simeon, who had also a non-football injury designation. And then they had the quarterback they drafted. He was undrafted, Jack Strand. So Atlanta is going to be very thin at the quarterback position in the early going, and that concerns me. That concerns me a lot.
Hey, anybody want a Jameis?
And we got
Anybody want a Jameis?
and there's deeper problems than just that. There's more.
Why don't you trade the what? Hey Jets, why don't you trade the Cade Klubnik?
Hmm. Yeah, as if the Jets will do that. I'll actually laugh about that if they do. But here's the
That'd be
key.
hilarious.
This is the big
I would
one for me.
love that. That would be the best thing they could ever do is get Cade Klubnik off their roster.
Hmm. Well, here's the big one now for me. This is the big one I think we need to address. Bijan Robinson, not football related injury, but
He's not hurt. What?
he had a
But
hold-in.
he didn't practice. He had a
Yeah,
holding.
a hold-in. Yeah,
What do you mean a hold?
he wants money. He
A
wants
holding penalty?
a
No,
hold-in, a hold-in.
hold in.
Like in other
Oh,
words, he wants money. He wants to be paid his extension,
uh
and not just
oh.
him, Jahmyr Gibbs as well.
Uh
So
oh.
both of them did not practice. Both of them did not participate in practice.
They saw Kenneth Walker get super rich and said, F that, where's my money?
I think it was more than just KW. It was also looking at
They
Barkley
saw
and
K.
company.
No,
Barkley,
hold on. I'll give you a better example. They saw the contract Etienne got and said, "Oh, damn."
yeah. Well, I mean, understandably so. These guys want to be paid the proper money that they believe that they have earned. And you know what? They are top quarterbacks and they should be traded as rightfully so. Actually, they should be paid as not traded. What am I talking about? They should be paid as properly so. So here's pretty much what's happening here. They want multi-year contract extensions after they have already had three very positive seasons already in the NFL. Okay.
Well, they deserve it.
Yeah. So what are we looking at here? Barkley right now is the highest paid running back in the NFL. So now every other running back like these two want to set a standard here. McCaffrey right now is second at getting paid 19 million a year. Barkley's paid about 20 a year. Derrick Henry's paid 15 a year. Jonathan Taylor 14 a year.
That's
So Gibbs
criminal.
and Bijan, they want to
Now,
be in
hold
that
on.
upper
Brees
echelon
is
class.
14. So hold on. Brees is 14 and a half, along with Kenneth Walker. So that now drives Jonathan Taylor down to sixth, seventh. No?
Well, let's go back through the all right, right now Kenneth Walker's being paid 14,350,000 with the 3-year deal he signed with Kansas City at 43 million. All right? So
Okay.
Kenneth Walker's making 14.35 million.
14.35.
Yeah. Which I
So
mean,
that's
look,
above 14. That's above the 14 million of Jonathan Taylor. Brees Hall is
yes.
making 14.5, which is above the 14 million of Jonathan Taylor. Both of them clocking right underneath Derrick Henry at fourth and fifth. So now Jonathan Taylor is the sixth highest paid running back in the NFL. That is effing criminal.
Yeah.
By the way, do
Brees
you know
Hall can
what's even? Hold on.
yeah.
Actually, he's now the seventh because thanks Jeremiah Love
Mhm.
for his lovely What's Jeremiah Love's contract for being drafted third overall?
All right,
This is ridiculous money for a running back.
Love signed a 4-year deal at 53 million,
That is
22,816, averaging
that is
13 and
not
13.2 million.
13.2 million freaking dollars a season. And by the way, there's incentives to drive that up.
Yeah, as also Brees Hall has the incentives as well. Brees Hall definitely does. Um, the 53 million is fully guaranteed money, signing bonus of 35 million.
Yeah, 53 million fully guaranteed over 4 seasons,
And
and
then
he
roster
hasn't played
bonus.
the
And then this
NFL effing snap. That's why, forget the top end money of Barkley and all the rest of them. That's not what got Gibbs and Bijan pissed. What got Gibbs and Bijan pissed was the fact that Jeremiah Love could walk into the league and sign a $53 million deal, and they're still making shit. That's
okay.
why.
Well,
That's why they're pissed.
all right. Well then if you're the Lions, if you're the Falcons, better pay them their money. You want them ready. You want them playing. And especially if you're the Falcons, because right now you don't know what your quarterback situation is right now.
2 years ago, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley made a co-joint announcement to the league. Like not like, they didn't like stand on a podium together,
Yeah.
but with the way that they negotiated and the contracts that they demanded,
Yep.
they said we will no longer be accepting substandard money
Mm-hmm.
to play our position. We are the most important position on the football field aside from the quarterback in terms
Yep.
of offense.
Yes.
Without us, y'all are shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and look at what an elite running back can do. Look at what Saquon Barkley did for the Eagles his first season. Just
Yes.
took them from middling to champion.
Yeah. You've had Gibbs basically take the Lions on the border, on the precipice of that as well. They're right there. Honestly, the Lions, I don't know how many more years they're going to have it, but still at the moment they're right there. But
They
how
are
much
right
more?
there. And
But how
to
much
be
longer can
honest,
it keep? How much longer?
well, Petzing is the OC. He has Laporta as his tight end one, which is very
Fine.
beneficial. Jared
Okay.
Goff, a very accurate quarterback. If Petzing's offense can be thrown by an accurate quarterback
Yeah. Yeah.
that could actually see over the offensive
Yep.
line, like
And you still got him
Petzing's
on,
offense is
and you got
okay.
him on, and you got him on Russ St. Brown.
And Jamison Williams, former Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Like the Lions are in a much Gibbs is not in as good of a situation to negotiate himself new money
Mm.
as Bijan.
Yes.
Because Bijan Robinson is the Atlanta Falcons offense outside of Pitts in London.
Yes.
It's three players. Everybody else on that offense is completely replaceable. Outside of maybe Zachariah Branch, who they just drafted.
Yep. Well, we're going to see how all this goes down for the Lions. I think they'll be fine.
Well,
We
no,
have
I'm
no
talking about the
reason.
Falcons
Yeah.
right now.
Well, yeah,
They
the
have
Falcons.
to.
Yeah, they
The
need
Lions are fine.
the
To be
Falcons need
absolutely
help,
honest,
but the quarterback situation is what worries me in Atlanta. Yeah, Drake
Isaiah
London.
Pacheco. Like, imagine if Gibbs sits out. Okay, let's say the absolute worst
Yeah, you
happens.
got Pacheco
Gibbs
right
sits
there.
out.
You got Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco is enough to run an offense off of.
Yeah.
He's not the best thing on earth, but do you know what? Detroit's O line is better than Kansas City's was the past few seasons that Isaiah Pacheco was there.
Yep.
Pacheco's leg should finally be fully healed from all of the injuries he has suffered.
Mm.
So you're probably getting the best Isaiah Pacheco you're going to have seen in years. Isaiah Pacheco can block. He's a good third down back. He can catch the football.
Yes.
Is he explosive? No, but he's a battering ram with a little bit more skill
All right.
than being a batter. And he runs very violently for somebody of his small
Yes.
stature.
My only concern is just he doesn't. You hope he doesn't get hurt. He has had injuries doing that violent style, so we'll see how
Yeah,
Pacheco goes about it. All right.
but
Then you
that's the
have
thing. The Lions are in a much better position for the sit out. So what
yes.
is Gibbs demanding and what is Bijan demanding? That's my
Okay.
question.
Well, let's take a
What's the
look.
money they're demanding?
Well, let's see. As far as a decent amount,
Because they gotta be wanting more than Barkley money.
well, Gibbs wants to be paid. The expectation is for Gibbs to be paid about 60 million, about 20 million, roughly a little more than 20 million a year, which is
That makes
about what
sense.
Barkley gets. And a little
That
bit
makes
less,
sense.
and it's a little bit less than that for Bijan Robinson. Probably about 19, close to 19 million, which would be about number two.
Bijan could probably negotiate for 23, 22, because to be honest, we've not seen a back like Bijan Robinson in a very long
Yeah.
time. I love Jameer Gibbs, love him to death.
Yes.
He's not Bijan.
Yes. Well, right now, all right.
Bijan is the complete player. Like
Yeah.
he's Marshall Faulk of the modern age. I'm sorry, he just is.
Yeah. Well, look, if the Falcons are smart, they will pay them this money. You can't, you obviously, you know the shelf life with running backs. You can't agree to a 10-year plus deal or anything like that.
They
It's too
ran an
risky.
entire offensive scheme based on the fact that this was their running back.
I
Name me
know,
the
because,
other
yeah,
team in the NFL that has done that for their running back. That's
McCaffrey,
all you need to know about Bijan.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
What does McCaffrey get paid? 19 million.
McCaffrey's getting paid 19 million. He's number two on the of top paid running backs. He's number two.
Yeah, and
Number
the
one
only
is
reason he
Barkley.
gets paid 19 million and not more is because his knee is being maintained by sorcery.
Yeah. Well, speaking of knees and the 49ers, I'm actually good that we brought the Niners name up here. Pearsall, knee flared up on him, and that's not good.
Ooh,
No, it's
is that
not good.
why I've been hearing all this happy talk about Deshaun Stribling and how he's didn't Brock Purdy come out the other day and say Stribling is like the man or something like that. He
Well,
said some quote like that.
we'll see. But right
Pull
now,
that up quick
pull up
because Brock Purdy
Stribling.
said some about Stribling because he said some really, really, really
Yeah,
happy stuff.
he raved about him, calling him a baller, and earned the offense's trust during training camp.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's good.
that means hey, if you've earned the trust of Purdy, I think Stribling's going to do some good things, no doubt about it.
And
I'm
now with this knee flare up with Pearsall, because Pearsall can never stay healthy. It's
yeah.
gonna be Evans and the rookie.
Not only that, Christian Kirk suffered a calf injury over the weekend. On top of that, So
So now
Kirk is
Stribling
down.
has to be in the off.
Stribling's
Well,
going to
now,
have a big role. Yeah, it's going to be a
well,
big role for him.
Demarcus Robinson is still there.
Yes,
Kendrick
but
Bourne's gone. Robinson is still there. They retained him. So he's still a part of that mix too.
yeah,
Veteran, could catch the ball, very good in the red zone. He's damn good at
and he
catching
really
deep
stepped,
balls
and he
as
had a very
well.
good, and he had a pretty solid day in training camp today. Really stepped up with Pearsall's injury. So yeah, Demarcus Robinson's going to see a role. I think no doubt about it. You got Mike
Yeah,
Evans.
so
You got Mike
yeah.
Evans, which is good. Kittle, you're going to have a. You should get Kittle back. It seems like
And
Kittle should
if
be
you
good to
don't,
go.
but here's the thing, if I were San Francisco, I wouldn't rush him back out there. You have Tonjes. Tonjes is
Yeah.
very good.
Okay.
Like he might not be. Is he the blocker Kittle is? No,
No.
and that's why you need Kittle back as fast as possible. But in terms of the pass catching and the athletic
Yeah.
ability and in terms of being involved in the passing game, Tonjes and Kittle at this point in their careers are like one and
Mm,
one B.
yeah.
I would say Tonjes is
Well,
like slightly lower than Kittle at this point.
You're gonna need Ton just because Kittle likelihood might not even be ready for week one. You may have to wait a couple of weeks on Kittle because of
Yeah,
his injury.
so well,
But
Tonjes is
he's
going to be
working.
right
He is
there.
putting in work. Rehabbing. So Kittle's
They
trying to
should
get back as
just
soon as he can.
it's a good thing they have Tonjes because like I said, it's like the situation with the Raiders. They
Yeah.
literally have somebody who would be a top 10 tight end if they didn't have this like Hall of Fame godlike player in front of
Mm,
them.
very true. All right. So let's see where the Niners take this. Tyreek Hill, who is still a free agent, no team has signed him. Knee is still a problem for Tyreek Hill. But right now he's not with the team, so obviously for if you're Hill, take as much time as you need to get that leg where it needs to be. Says he still
I
has no
agree.
power in his leg,
Yeah, I saw him doing mini drills with high schoolers at
and
his
he wasn't
football
running
camp.
fast. He wasn't running like the fast
He was
cheetah he
running
is.
fast. He was running fast, but he doesn't have power in his leg in terms of making cuts.
So he's
He
really
can't
taking it caution.
he
He's
can't
really being
make
cautious with
cuts
it.
yet.
Hmm.
He could do straight line running. That's not his issue. Because I've watched it. Because I
So he
watched
can
him
go
straight line
vertical.
run.
So
He
he
could
can go
run.
vertical, but he can't go lateral.
He can't go lateral yet.
No, no.
That's what he's working on.
All right. Look, I'm hoping Hill is going to be ready at some point during the year. I would like to think maybe a team will take a flyer on him. Playoff
Nobody keeps
contention team is going to
themselves.
try it.
I'm going to tell you something. Nobody keeps like look if you ever look at his Instagram or ever look at any of his social medias, his workout videos, anything. They, I don't. There are there are not many people that keep themselves in better physical condition than Tyreek Hill.
Okay. I mean,
So
you saw
if there
Brady
is
keeping himself in
anybody,
good. Brady did it. McCaffrey's done
yeah,
it.
and I think Tyreek Hill will come back be just fine. Is he going to be like the 4-2-5 Tyreek? No, but could it be a 4-3-7? Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and that's definitely fast enough,
Okay. I think we'll
especially with
definitely.
a receiver of his experience, reading zones, figuring out zones. Then Tyreek gets to use the mental aspect of his game. Whatever team picks him up in the
Yep.
middle of the season, because he's going to be a middle of the season pickup. He's not
Yep.
effing around.
Yep.
He wants to go win a title.
Mm.
And he's going to go where he feels that he's going to win a title. So why attach yourself to a roster now and rehab with a roster according to what the team doctor wants you to do? Look at the situation with Joe Mixon and Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. Well.
They went to doctors that they wanted to go to on their own, and now they're both blacklisted, and Ayuk has lost his
Well.
mind.
Well. Mixon
So
unfortunately
if
may
you're
never play in the NFL again. Mixon's done.
yeah, yeah, he's been blackballed because he decided that he was going to do his rehab outside of the Texans stuff. Mixon said he went to his own doctors, his own people, went did his own rehab, and he's basically been blackballed out of the NFL for it.
It was a
That's what's
freak
going on with
medical.
Joe Mixon.
It was a freak medical. That was a freak injury that, by the way, that happened with Mixon. It was a foot injury. That's the worst thing
Yeah,
about it. Was a foot injury, and
that's
anytime
right.
you have a
That's
problem
why
with your foot,
Mixon
that's a problem. That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
that's why Mixon wanted to go to his own doctors and his own people. Understandable. Think about it from Joe Mixon's perspective. I completely get it. And Mixon didn't go on the internet and act like an idiot like
Well,
Ayuk
that's a
did.
big difference. Yeah, that's what did Ayuk in.
Yeah, now imagine Joe Mixon, who, yeah, was he a problem child outside of the NFL? Yes, but the second he put on an NFL uniform, he's been nothing but a model citizen.
Yeah, and
So, I
by
mean, you could
utilize.
say whatever you want about Joe
Mhm.
Mixon. He's pretty much remained a model citizen as an NFL player.
Yes.
All that crap in college that everybody was worried about with him,
Yeah.
not a thing. But even he got blackballed out of the NFL for deciding to go outside of team doctors and all this other stuff. So riddle me this. If Tyreek Hill sees Joe Mixon doing his recovery
Might
outside
he
of
do
what
the
a
same
team
thing?
wants or whatever,
You think he'll do the same?
why would Tyreek Hill trust his rehab to a team facility and team doctors when he's as a free agent could heal his knee,
Yeah.
go wherever the hell he wants, spend his money to get whatever he needs done to make sure that he's ready to go.
Mm.
And he's actually being very honest about his rehab and recovery,
Yeah.
unlike others who
Well.
have kept people in the dark. He's been like Tyreek Hill is no stranger to posting on the internet. He does post about his rehab a lot.
Hmm.
So, you know, if you know, you know because I actually follow the guy on Facebook, found his IG. I look at his work. I've seen what he's done to rehab himself. When he's ready, he'll tell you. And because what I saw in his workouts, I'm like, he looks ready now.
Yeah. Looks
But
ready.
if he doesn't feel it, I prefer a player say, I don't feel like my knee is ready to go, even though the
Yeah.
film looks like it. I prefer
Well.
that. Give me that all day. So that this way, when Tyreek Hill signs in the middle of the season, he has controlled everything about his rehab, and that has nothing to do with an
Mm.
NFL team. Why
Mm.
would you put yourself in that position when you've seen what's happened to Mixon and Ayuk?
Mm. Well, we're definitely going to see. Speaking of which, you got a little news just that came in here. It's the Saints. Taysom Hill will not be returning for a 10th season with the Saints. And that's a pretty big blow. Nothing about retiring, but he has basically said he will not return. And a guy that's very versatile in a lot of packages. I'm going to be very curious to see what happens with Hill. Does he find another team? At the same time, Kamara and Travis Etienne are splitting reps at the running back position,
That's
which is
why.
very good.
There's that's why because Kamara didn't leave, Kamara didn't retire, so there's no role for
Kamara basically
Taysom
said
Hill,
either the Saints keep him or he was going to leave.
or he was going to retire
Yeah,
from the
Kamara
league.
was
He
ready to
wants to.
retire if the Saints didn't sign him.
But do you know what? Kamara with less of a workload was always better and more efficient. I never liked Kamara as the main guy. Having Kamara and ETN split, that's gonna just make both
He
backs
was better
better,
as a
in my
pass catcher.
opinion.
He was so much better as a pass catch option
And
than running
now
the
you
ball.
got that. And now you got that. So now at this point, what you're doing is you're letting Kamara revert back to his best stuff, and you have an actual running back that can hang and bang
Hmm.
running up the middle. Kamara was never a guy, as much as he ran violently throughout his career and is a tough man. No one never said that about him. At this age, you can't expect Alvin Kamara to hang and bang.
Hmm.
You need to utilize him in the correct manner, which 50-50 to me sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds perfect to
Yep.
me.
Right now, the rest of the Saints will, and I think we'll kind of start to close the book here as we get to it on this. Zach Wilson, along with Spencer Rattler, are fighting for the number two position behind Tyler Shuck.
That's going to be Wilson. I'm telling you, it's
I
going to be
mean,
Wilson.
Rattler's very inconsistent. From what we saw of Rattler, he's very inconsistent. It's
The
evident.
Jets have ruined so many damn quarterbacks. It's obscene.
Is it only just the
And
Jets ruin quarterbacks? It's more than just that. I mean, sometimes maybe these
bro,
quarterbacks don't come with a certain mentality. They're not ready. I don't know. It's a tough spot. I
your
agree.
general managers draft idiotically.
Yeah, well, the past general
Like I
managers we
would have
had, what?
rather you have taken Justin Fields that season. Like when the Jets ended up getting Justin Fields, it's like, wow, wow. Oh, you signed Justin Fields. You should have did that. You should have did that how many years ago?
Hmm.
Like,
All right. Well,
it was called the draft when you had the number two effing pick and you wasted it on that guy.
mm,
It's not Zach Wilson's fault, but he never
yeah,
should have been thrown behind an NFL offensive line. He was not ready.
no,
And he was
no.
definitely not ready for what the Jets were having him do,
Mm,
which was pretty much stand behind a bunch of paperweights and
yeah.
die. That's pretty
Hmm.
much Zach Wilson was a meat shield for for a season and a half before he was mercifully sent to the bench.
Yeah, and then you want to see Justin Fields become earlier. We talked about it. You want Justin Fields to be that meat shield for Kansas
No,
City
I'm
in their
just saying
first
that's
game.
what Kansas City is going to do. They're going to send him out there because here's the thing: at least Justin Field has a pair of legs on him, and with decent blocking, could run an RPO scheme planned out by Andy Reid that would allow Justin Fields to rush for 140 yards, throw for
Mm,
140 yards, and maybe get a couple of touchdowns against the Denver Bronco defense that's absolutely insane.
mm. Agreed. Definitely agree. Well, we'll see what happens here at the Saints. I mean, look, the fact that Kamara and him are going to and Etienne are going to split carries. Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
I'm
so
very happy with this.
forgive the meat shield joke, but
Mm,
literally that's what you're doing. You're throwing Justin Fields as a physical human barrier between Patrick Mahomes and the Denver Bronco defense in week 1.
yeah. All
And
right.
that's what they should do.
Yep.
That's
Look,
or else why the hell else did you trade for Justin Fields?
mm, I guess you can definitely say that without a doubt. As for the last team, we'll finish on this note. We got to go to America's team to wrap things all up as far as training camp, and that's the Dallas Cowboys.
Spit dribbles boys.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so
Jerry
far,
Jones,
so
aka
far,
Spit Dribble. He
so far,
communicates in middle fingers and spit dribbles now. He goes,
all right. Well, so far, some very positive,
make sure to censor that. So make sure to censor the finger somehow. Um,
all right.
nah,
Well,
actually, don't.
all right. Well, I'll tell you what, some very positive camps out of each of these guys so far that Pickens, all right. I mean, Pickens has looked pretty solid, as has Jaden Blue, the backup, the second running back behind Javonte Williams.
For anybody that doesn't understand why I call him spit dribbles,
Hmm.
gave he as an old man, when somebody's like, "Hey Jerry, how you doing?" When Jerry Jones was a luxury box at Snoopy Park,
Yep.
MetLife Stadium, whatever you
Yep.
want to call it.
Yep.
Um, Jerry Jones's reaction was to go and middle finger.
Yeah.
So that's why I call him spit dribbles because he communicates in middle fingers and spit dribbles.
Right. Okay.
Continue.
Okay. Well,
I just don't want people to think I'm just randomly saying this for no
no, no,
reason.
no, absolutely not. All right. So now for Pickens. All right. He has pretty good camp he had as well. As you know, he's the only player in the NFL that's playing on a franchise tag. So this is the 1 year, 27 million for the franchise tag that he signed to this year. And you know Pickens is going to want money. He's going to want to get paid a pretty handsome amount for what he's brought to this team. So, but the fact that he came to camp is good. At least he's there. He's not pouting and complaining, and
No,
I hope that's a good sign. And Dak Prescott is going to need every bit of Pickens along with CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys to really make noise this year.
because to me, Pickens is the type of receiver that Dak Prescott has just been longing for. I
Mm,
love CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is like a surgical knife that you use to
yes.
precision carve up defenses. And then
Yes.
on top of that, he has breakaway speed with yard after the catch
Mm,
ability. George
yes.
Pickens is the guy that you send down the field to make the big boy catches.
Yes. And I think you're going to see a lot
That's
more of
his
that
job.
even in this year. I think you're going to see a lot of that this year with Dak. I think no doubt about it.
And Ryan Flournoy is finally actually going to get his shot to be a number three. To no more Tolbert in the way, no more of the rest of these random guys they got going around as wide receivers.
Hmm.
You have you have Flournoy finally
Hmm.
there. Young guy has proven himself that he could handle
Yep.
big time big time minutes out there,
Right.
that he could handle big time throws from Dak. He's been able to run with the Schottenheimer's offense. That's why they trusted him. That's why they let guys like Tolbert go to Miami and other wideouts that were, second, that were like, former second and third options for Dak go. Now you got the two big boys up front, and then young Flournoy coming into
Hmm.
what season is this for Ryan
Ryan
Flournoy?
Flournoy, let's see. Well, he hasn't, let's see. He was selected in 2024.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So this is what, year three now for him. This is his third year.
yeah, so this is about time for him if he develops on a normal wide
He made
receiver
some good
track
leaps. He
to
made
really
some very
break
good
out.
leaps he made some good leaps last year as far as taking on that role. I think, look, you look at the Cowboys, at least on the offensive side, I don't have really too many concerns as far as offense with this team.
By the way, Jordan Blue has been impressing in camp. He
Yeah.
apparently came into camp this season a lot more focused than last year,
Yeah.
and they're looking at him to take some snaps away from Javonte
Oh,
Williams.
I think you're going to see Blue and Williams really splitting the carries this year. I think you're going to see a very even distribution of both of them running the football this season. I think you will.
Oh, there's Beast's hot take.
I think so. I think no doubt about it.
So when do you think it ends up becoming a 50-50 backfield?
Um,
Because it's going to start with
yeah,
Javonte
no, yeah,
getting
definitely.
like
It will start with
70% of
him.
the work.
I wouldn't be surprised by the time we get to about week 7, week 8. I mean, look what happened with the Bears with Kyle Monangai. Remember, Swift was taking the carries. Monangai started coming, and then Monangai
Yeah,
became the guy. And then Swift got hurt. Monangai
he
proved
wasn't.
he could lead.
Yes, but then when Swift came back, Swift swiftly took over because
Of course.
I think DeAndre Swift is an elite running
Oh,
back, and I
yeah,
think
no,
Ben Johnson
Swift
is
is
just
absolutely a
very
guy you
happy
love
to
to
have him
have.
back.
Oh, he's one of the best backs you love to have. Very reliable, dependable, of course. But
And I
Monangai
think
showed you
his
things.
second, yeah,
Monangai showed you
I
things
for
that I
a
was very
seventh
happy with.
round for a seventh round pick, definitely for sure. I'm very If I'm the Bears, like you got your money's worth out of Kyle Monangai in that seventh round off
Hmm.
of what he did last season. If Monangai never played another snap for the Bears,
Hmm.
you had a successful seventh round of the draft last year.
Yeah. So speaking of the Bears, we'll get to let's kind of dive right into them a little bit. All right, Caleb Williams looked pretty solid. He slimmed down a little bit, wants to move a little better. He wants to move a little bit better, which is good. I mean, you
Yes,
saw
he
what
needs
Caleb
to.
can do, which I think was good. Luther Burden, high praise from the team in training camp. That's very
Excellent.
positive for Luther Burden. That's a very big weapon that I think Caleb Williams maybe didn't utilize enough. If he utilizes Burden, I think you're going to have something here. You already got Loveland. You already got Adunze. You got your running
Well,
backs, which I think is very good for Chicago.
here's the thing about Chicago that scares me a slight bit.
Hmm.
Odunze said the foot doesn't feel the same, and
Hmm.
he's not sure it ever will feel the same.
Hmm.
That was a quote that he said during the off season that he has to get used to it.
Hmm. Okay. He said, well,
So
as of
does
right
this
now,
mean
reports are he's
Odunze?
healthy. He's looked healthy in camp, Adunze. And that's
That's
positive news. You
good.
need Adunze to be, you're going to need, look, is Adunze's days of being a top receiver over? I don't know. If he's hurt, I don't know if he can be a top receiver anymore, which would be a shame because
I think he can be.
we spoke very highly about him when he first came up here. Uh,
Listen, I still think he can be. I I can't believe I put my stake in this and said that I think he's probably going to be
mhm.
the number two receiver in that draft class.
Hmm.
God, I feel like an idiot.
Well, we don't. Let's let things play out. Let's see how things play out, and let's see where things go. And you know what? Look, I like where things are going. I think we're going to definitely see a lot of surprises. Here, Kyler Murray competition there, and he's having some competition in camp. I mean, him and J.J. McCarthy. I mean, that's kind of what we had expected to see.
If that's a competition and an actual competition, may Lord help Minnesota. Because
All right. Well,
JJ McCarthy was bad.
hmm,
Like it wasn't even like he looked like a high school quarterback. Like Anthony
Hmm.
Richardson looked better when he was out there and looking bad, but
Hmm.
JJ McCarthy looked really bad.
Well,
Like Josh
well,
Rosen bad.
well, McCarthy went 13 out of 15 on day one of camp. Kyler Murray went 10 of 17, threw a pick and had two drops. So
Oh God.
I don't know if that's fair yet. But yeah, he got picked on a deep ball, and but and McCarthy was mainly doing short throws. He wasn't doing deep balls yet. Okay, it's unfair to base that off of one training camp. Okay,
McCarthy looked worse than Dylan Gabriel.
well,
And
if that's the
somehow the
case, I'd be a
Vikings
little
won
worried.
nine, but somehow the Vikings won 9 games with that.
All right.
How? How did they manage that? I still
Hmm.
don't know.
Well,
Once again, sorcery.
Kevin O'Connell has to make this decision. Who's his quarterback? Who does he trust?
Uh, the decision is if the decision wasn't clear when you signed Kyler Murray, then you shouldn't have signed Kyler Murray.
No.
I mean, if this is an actual competition and not just some bullshit to keep JJ McCarthy's you know spirits up,
Mm.
then I weep for the Vikings
Mm.
and their future because they're screwed.
Well,
They had better sign Baker Mayfield if that's the damn case.
right
Because
now
if
Baker
Kyler
Mayfield
is,
does not even have a contract yet, and he's playing without one currently with Tampa Bay. That could be trouble for the Buccaneers. Also, Vita Vea wants a contract now. He wants to be
he
traded.
wants out. No, he wants
Yeah,
out.
wants out. Excuse me. Yeah,
Yeah, he wants out. Forget contract. He wants
yeah, he
out.
wants out.
Everybody's running away from the Todd Bowles show.
Is it only just because of Todd Bowles? Is it only because of him? I feel like it's a little more than that.
Do you see the talent that was on that roster?
Yeah,
And
and then
do you see how criminally it's been mismanaged? Who's the
yeah,
coach?
ever since Liam Cohen left, it's not been the same.
No, but who's the coach?
Yeah, Todd Bowles.
And
Look, Todd Bowles was always a very, you know, calm, chalant guy, cookie stashes, always,
cookie
well,
stash.
yeah, he did have, he always liked cookies. He always had like he would have a stash of cookies.
Better than the cocaine that Adam Gase was enjoying.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, uh, we had a coach that liked cookies. We have a coach that likes snow, and now we have a coach
Well,
that
he has
likes
the cookies
sleep
for
so
victories.
much.
He likes his Chips Ahoy cookies and milk to celebrate wins. All right, that's Todd
Oh,
Bowles.
he didn't get very many of those as a Jet. So,
No, he did not.
um,
No, he did not. But yeah,
so yeah, I had a coach that liked his cookies.
well, Todd Bowles treated the Jets to a private stash of them after they won back in 2015. Can't believe that was 11 years ago. My God.
My God, you see, Bowles should have been the coach when Zach Wilson was the quarterback, and then Zach Wilson's cookie business would have taken off. Bowles and
Match in
Wilson's
heaven.
cookies.
A match in heaven, right? A
Bowles
match in
and
heaven.
Wilson. Bowles and Wilson's cookie empire. Maybe that's where Zach Wilson goes. He goes to Tampa
Rest in
with
peace to you,
Todd
Wally.
Bowles.
Rest in peace to you, Wally.